Hi guys, Belle here. I hope you're having a great day. I got a new deck while I was on vacation in Connecticut. So I thought I would try today and see how I like them. I've had the same cards for so long, probably over 30 years. So I know them inside and out, backwards. I might have to use the book a little bit. So bear with me and we'll see how this goes today. I hope that everybody's feeling good and that your energy is, I hope your energy is okay. A good way to ground is walk outside barefoot and stand in the grass and just kind of hold your arms up, palms out, and just close your eyes for a couple minutes and imagine yourself grounding from your feet into the earth. Imagine some of that energy coming up from the ground into your body. And if you have some stress or anxiety, you can start with your feet and let it out through the top of your crown. And that always helps. If you can't do that, I suggest taking an egg out of your refrigerator that has not been cooked. Take it in the shower with you. And while you're showering, I want you to rub it all over your body. And I want you to imagine that you're taking all that anxiety and all that stress out, and it's going into the egg. And then when you're done, I want you to take the egg outside and throw it at a tree. And what it's going to do is it's going to take all that stuff, all that bad stuff that's inside you, and it's going to send it out into the universe. So it won't harm you or anybody else. But that does help with negativity and getting rid of. There's tons of stuff that you can do just on the fly. So anyway, we're gonna turn these cards and see what we have here today. Some of them I'm gonna have to take a look at the book because like I said, these are all new. So we've got a lot of face-up cards and we have a few opposite, which that means that we're having a little problem. The first card we have is multi-universe. That's in the past. It's just basically telling me that you have not been, in the past, you were not very social. You were very into your own self. A lot of self-doubt, a lot of feeling like you weren't part of anything, which was causing you some kind of anxiety and stress. I think you're a social person, but whatever your trauma was, and an ex that wasn't very nice to you, that was kind of squashing you a little bit, making you feel not so comfortable. I just feel a lot of despair and a lot of anxiety and stress. So that was in your past. I'm gonna look what it says here as far as consider the theory of multiple dimensions and reality and the existence at once, the five senses of humanity. Notice the amount of consciousness and expand and expect the possibilities. So you were just basically kind of like existing and having a hard time realizing what you were stuck in. So sometimes that causes us stress, and the situation that you were in was not helping any. The next one we have right now, currently, is balance. This is a pretty card. So right now you're trying to balance what's going on in your life, your home life, your work life. They're telling me that you want to take a trip maybe, and you're just having a hard time trying to figure out like, how are you going to work it out? I feel like you are at a space where you can take a little time, but you're having a hard time balancing it out. You're having a hard time figuring out which direction you're going to go and how you're going to do it and what is the best avenue for you to take. And I want to say that you're overthinking it a little bit. Sometimes we tend to overthink, and they're telling me that you're overthinking just a little bit. So you can't do everything all at once. So you need to try to balance it out a little bit and have a little bit more balance in your life. It's not anything causing you too much anxiety, but we just need a little balance. This is path. This is coming up in the future, and it's opposite, so it's something that you're gonna have a problem with. So you have a decision that you're going to have to make via job and moving. And it's going to be a hard decision for you to make, because I feel like you, for some reason, you feel like you need to stay out of some type of obligation. So you're going to get an opportunity, and it's really going to weigh on you, like what you do. And like I tell all my clients and everybody that comes to me, anytime that anything is facing you and it's an obstacle, once I tell you that it's an obstacle, it changes. Because once you're aware, everything is always subject to change. So as soon as we give you information, as soon as Spirit gives you information, it's always up. You can always change it. Like if I told you, well, you're going to get a flat tire in a couple weeks, you're going to take your car to the next tire place and you're going to have them check all your tires. You're going to make sure everything's good. So you're going to just make sure that you have created a situation where something like that doesn't happen. So now that I've told you about that, it will help your situation a little bit, and know that you have to live your own life. And sometimes we have to do things for ourselves. And I know that's a struggle for you. So we want to just know that that's there. The obstacle card that we're having that is facing you is healing. And I know that past relationship that you were in has kind of put you in a situation where you don't really trust people, and the sorrow that you tell everybody that you're okay, but you're really having a hard time letting go of some of the trauma that person caused you, some of that anxiety and stress. And you need to know that you're an amazing person, and sometimes letting go of past traumas and past relationships. And they're telling me that you might not have a very good relationship with your mother, so you're having a lot of healing to do. And I don't know if you're in therapy or you're thinking about going to therapy, but it's a really good idea to have somebody to talk to, even a life coach. I life coach as well, so it's also good to reach out to somebody in your area where you have someone to talk to that can guide you. It can be spiritually, or it can be just a regular life coach or regular therapist, somebody that you can bounce ideas off that is not part of your like a friend. It's good to have a friend to talk to, but sometimes they're a little biased. So sometimes we want to talk to somebody outside. So think about that for your healing process, and know that, and meditating is good as well. So try to start like a 20-minute meditation before you go to bed. Take 15 minutes. There's some really good ones. There's ones about healing. There's ones about gratitude. I love the ones about gratitude, and I think that will help you feel better about yourself and start the healing process. But it is something that you're struggling with. So we want to make sure that you focus on yourself a little bit more. An outcome, which is something that you're also having a problem with, is upheaval. So you have a lot of things coming up with this. When we talked about the path, and it was inverted. So they kind of go together, the path and upheaval. So you have some things coming up that are going to change your world a little bit. I'm going to look and see in here what the book says about, I mean, I know what upheaval means, but I'm just curious. Usually structures that are going to rock your foundation a little bit, not anything earth-shattering, no deaths or anything like that, just upheaval, a disturbance. But have faith that you'll be able to face the challenge, but it's going to be a little hard for you. So if you do decide to move, I don't know, I feel like somebody's going to want to give you some kind, make you feel guilty. So this person that's around you, whether it could be, they're telling me it's a family member that is going to make you feel guilty about this move that you're possibly going to be able to make, and it's going to cause you some anxiety. But do know that you need to share your gifts around the world, not just in your own little space and in your own little area. The underlying card that you have, this is the picture. This is protection. You need to protect yourself. It's time for you to protect yourself. It's time for you This whole reading is telling me that it's time for you to find your center, because you have your underlying card as protection. So it's time for you to heal yourself within. And then we have the cosmos and connection for feeling cards. So we are all part of a greater understanding and a greater mission. And that mission is for us to come here to find our truths, to clean out our karma. And we do come in contact with people that help us do that. So as far as obstacles, we may experience what we receive to be a problem or a hindrance. So sometimes we overlook things. So with all this stuff that's coming up in your life, it's going to cause you a little bit. So what I would like to tell you to do is I need you to start right now thinking about how you can ground yourself and get yourself ready for some major changes. And I know it's hard for you, but you need to protect yourself as far as like the healing goes and being able to set boundaries. Connections. When it talks about connections, there is a wonderfully satisfying feeling of connecting with another being, and all through the partnership and friendship collaboration with a community. So notice, I want you to think about yourself. So I want you to know that there's a connection between you, between the earth, between the people that you surround yourself with. So we want to make sure that we're in a good space. So whether you find someone to talk to or whether you journal it out, journaling is always good too. Just get a little notebook and a pen, and then just every night write for like 30 minutes, write a lot of good things, and sometimes write a lot of bad things and get them out. So Spirit is telling me that you have a lot going on right now, I know, and it's gonna be okay. And I believe in you. And if you have any other questions, and if you wanna reach out, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to talk to people. I just want you to know that you are loved and that you have so much to offer, and you are not what, I just feel like somebody is picking at you and making you feel like you're not as strong and not as, what's the word? You are enough. You are enough, really, you are enough. And you do so much. And it's time for you to take care of yourself, and it's time for you to heal yourself. I love you, and I believe in you, and I know that everything's gonna be okay. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. And please, if this resonates with you, like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I hope that everybody just shares a little love today. Blessed be.